Hey guys, how are you? Another literature break for you this afternoon. And it's a gorgeous snowy Saturday here. I'm going to read a couple selections from Mark Strand's Blizzard of One. There's Mr. Strand. This one's for Derek Walcott. The View. This is the place. The chairs are white. The table shines. The person sitting there stares at the waxen glow. The wind moves the air around repeatedly as if to clear a space. A space for me, he thinks. He's always been drawn to the weather of leave-taking, arranging itself so that grief, even the most intimate, might be read from a distance. A long shelf of cloud hangs above the open sea with the sun of no distinction sinking behind it, a mild version of the story that is told just once if true, and always too late. The waitress brings his drink, which he holds against the waning light, but just for a moment. Its red reflection tints his shirt. Slowly the sky becomes darker, the wind relents, the view sublimes. The violet sweep of it seems, in this effortless nightfall, more than a reason for being there, for seeing it, seems itself a kind of happiness, as if that plain fact were enough and would last. Let's see what else. The next time. Nobody sees it happening, but the architecture of our time is becoming the architecture of the next time, and the dazzle of light upon the waters is as nothing beside the changes wrought therein, just as our waywardness means nothing against the steady pull of things over the edge. Nobody can stop the flow, but nobody can start it either. Time slips by. Our sorrows do not turn into poems, and what is invisible stays that way. Desire has fled, leaving only a trace of perfume in its wake, and so many people we loved have gone, and no voice comes from outer space, from the folds of dust and carpets of wind to tell us that this is the way it was meant to happen, that if only we knew how long the ruins would last, we would never complain. 2. Perfection is out of the question for people like us, so why plug away at the same old self when the landscape has opened its arms and given us marvelous shrines to flock towards? The great motels to the west are waiting. In somebody's yard, a pristine dog is hoping that we'll drive by, and on the rubber surface of a lake, people bobbing up and down will wave. The highway comes right to the door, so let's take off before the world out there burns up. Life should be more than the body's weight working itself from room to room. A turn through the forest will do us good, so will a spin among the farms. Just think of the chickens strutting, the cows swinging their udders and flicking their tails at flies. And one can imagine prisms of summer light breaking against the silent, haze-filled sleep of the farmer and his wife. 3. It could have been another story, the one that was meant instead of the one that happened. Living like this, hoping to revise what has been false or rendered unreadable, is not what we wanted. Believing that the intended story would have been like a day in the West when everything is tirelessly present, the mountains casting their long shadow over the valley where the wind sings its circular tune and trees respond with a dry clapping of leaves, was overly simple, no doubt, and short-sighted. For soon the leaves, having gone black, would fall, and the annulling snow would pillow the walk, and we, with shovels in hand, would meet, bow, and scrape the sidewalk clean. What else would there be this late in the day for us but desire to make amends and start again the sun's compassion as it disappears? And one more. Ooh, which one? Which one? How about A Piece of the Storm for Sharon Horvath? From the shadow of domes in the city of domes, a snowflake, a blizzard of one, weightless, entered your room and made its way to the arm of the chair where you, looking up from your book, saw it the moment it landed. That's all. That's all there was to it. No more than a solemn waking to brevity, to the lifting and falling away of attention swiftly, a time between times, a flowerless funeral. No more than that, except for the feeling that this piece of the storm, which turned into nothing before your eyes, would come back. That someone years hence, sitting as you are now, might say, "It's time. The air is ready. The sky has an opening." Oh my gosh. Let's do that one again, right? That was a good one. All right, A Piece of the Storm for Sharon Horvath. From the shadow of domes in the city of domes, a snowflake, a blizzard of one, weightless, entered your room and made its way to the arm of the chair where you, looking up from your book, saw it the moment it landed. That's all there was to it. No more than a solemn waking to brevity, to the lifting and falling away of attention swiftly, a time between times, a flowerless funeral. No more than that, except for the feeling that this piece of the storm, which turned into nothing before your eyes, would come back. That someone years hence, sitting as you are now, might say, "It's time. The air is ready. The sky has an opening." The sky has an opening. Cool. All right, I hope you guys have a great week, and take care.